Hello, guys. Today I'm gonna do a voiceover on the piece that I have recently I created. I mean, like the statue. So this is a live voiceover that I'm doing. So bear with me. Um, First of all, I start with getting inspiration from in Pinterest. So this is where I usually get all of my inspiration for creating art. So usually my process is like I start with the subject, so which is the statue, like what you have here. So I set up the view, which is 9 by 16, which is 1080 by 120 um, pixels. So I usually post on Instagram, so that's what I usually do. So now I focus on creating the light. So usually I just remove the world in the world settings. I just remove the background. I mean the light. So it's just full dark. So I'm just using one light source, which is the spotlight, which is usually a million times the. I mean the power is usually at the million to have that God ray effect. So I also added a cube around the scene, which is my volumetric, which is set to 0.002 using volume scatter added to the volume ESDF. So now I'm using Arborea, which is an add-on by Super 3D. So this very good add-on if you want to have like vegetations, if you want trees and like vines and everything. So this is a very good way to populate your scene very fast instead of like modeling everything. But sometimes I also model some of my assets, but only when I have a lot of time to spend. So for this one I spent like 2 hours, I think, 2 or 3 hours creating this piece. Cause I only create this when I'm out of work of like I'm mean, like during weekend. So I try to put one or two concept every week. So yeah. So now I'm looking for a tree that doesn't have that much leaves on its body because I mean its trunk because I wanted to like frame the scene. So I'm gonna use it to like frame the statue in the middle. So I had to block some of the side details. So I'm trying to um find more a better tree that's not gonna cover the entire scene and just the side details. So I want to black out the light that's coming from the side. So I'm this is what I the tree that I went for. So, because if I'm gonna use the bigger ones, it's gonna block the entire scene and it's not really good. So, right now I'm adding foreground elements just to add more details to the scene. So, I'm just duplicating grasses, I mean, like shrubs and plants. So, still using Arborea, just has a lot of assets built into it. So it's very, very good if you can afford it. And sometimes it goes on sale and it's like priced at 90 USD, which is very, very good considering the amount of things that you have in the add-on because it also comes with like multiple seasons, so you can definitely do a lot of things with it. So you can go winter season, autumn season, so can just adjust it on the fly and all of your assets will turn into like a new season. So now I'm trying to figure out how to create my light because just using one single light source is not gonna do um much because I need the god rays, so I need it like a compressed light, so I had to use another light source on the same direction just to light up the scene a little bit more. So yeah, so I'm still deciding what to go for because um I wanted to light up some of the scene without over like the light is like overexposing the entire scene because I want the light to be focused on the statue itself. So now I'm adding more trees to the sides because we want to replicate a forest scene which has a lot of trees around it. So we want to black out most of the light that's coming from the sides. So so at this point I'm still deciding on what light kind of light setting should I do or light setup. So I was just exploring at this point and I was moving things around just to, get the best light source or light settings. Um, setup for the scene. So at first I decided that the light should be at the back of the statue, but I wanted to highlight more of the frontal details of the statue. So I went and adjusted the light so that it's coming from the front. So now I added these two trees just to frame the scene better. So usually what I do is like for most of my pieces, like the art piece that I do is like I frame everything around the subject. So most of the details on the side around the subject is darker. So that the focus will be on the subject itself. So now I'm adding more details to this tree. So I'm using IV generator that's um in Arborea add-on. So in the past, I usually do most of my IVs manually. So this is kind of time consuming because you need to move around all the curves and wrap it around the subject that you want or the mesh that you want. So now with the IV generator, I don't have to do that. So it's a very great add-on that you can do. I mean, like you can buy if you want to um, add vegetations really fast to your scene. So at this point, I'm adding more lights. So I wanted to add an area light just to you know um add more light to the background, but that didn't work. So yeah, now I just added more trees, like smaller ones, because we already have the big ones. So we want to show the viewers that this forest is like it's a diverse vegetation. So yeah, it kind of sell the idea of like the forest is not very old or something like that. But yeah, so I'm just adding more and more details to the scene by adding more vegetations. Usually I just duplicate and turn things around just to not make it very similar. So now I'm adding more types of plants. So yeah. So at this point, I decided to move the statue towards the center of that forest because I felt like it's really in front of the entire scene, and I wanted to be like it's in the middle of the forest. So just to frame it better. So now I'm adding more foreground elements just to drive the view towards the statue. So I want to fill in the gap, I mean like the sides with more details. So I'm still using Arborea at this point. So Arborea comes with a lot of things, like almost 600 or more assets that you can use for your scene. So it also comes with multiple tools like IVGen, um, like the giant vine generator. So it's really good. So if you want like a fantasy scene, so it's gonna help you hasten things up. So at the moment I'm using, if you see the floor, it's ice. So it's also an add-on that I use for creating textures. So I'm using extreme PBR material. So this is an add-on that I bought years ago. So it's still very good. So they always updated. So yeah. So now I'm adding more lights to the background because I want to highlight some of the background, like just to, you know, make the background not so dark. Because yeah, it adds more depth to the scene. Like there's a sense of distance. So because if you go into a forest, you will always see this light coming through, going through trees. So yeah, so now you can see that the background is more lighted, so it has more light to it. So but not too much that it takes away the focus on the statue. So now I added two more giant trees on the side just to, black out the light from the sides, and add that little detail on the top and top right, left and right um, of the scene. So you can see that there's like um, the leaves that's blocking some of the light source and like framing the entire scene on the sides. So it's gonna sell the idea that this is a forest that's kind of thick. So like the the camera is far from the statue, and it adds more distance, like the sense of distance. So if you don't have that trees on the side, kind of feel like it's just an open space, like you're just looking into the statue on an open space, which is okay at some point, but I just want to add more detail. So, so like the feeling of like we just discovered this statue in the middle of the forest. So also one technique that I use to I use constraints. So for the I mean the source. So I for the main source, light source, I use constraints and use the statue as the target constraint, so that whenever I move the light, it will still focus on the subject. So yeah, it's looking really nice now. So just for context, um I do get paid creating these environments, but I'm not like the best out there yet. So I'm just sharing uh, what I think uh, the right process, or what works for me at least. So there's a lot of like better artists out there that you can watch, like Maxay, if you would really want to learn uh, the best setups, or like how to do things. So this is just my hobby, though some of it I'm getting paid to do. So so now I'm adding more details to the foreground elements, like um, adding more plants that are floating on the water. So although which is it's not water at the moment, it's ice. So yeah, so I'm adjusting the IVs because I wanted to like um thicker at the bottom and like less on top. So yeah, so there we go. Yeah, so now the framing is really good. Like the sides kind of black out most of the lights, and now I'm adding more trees just to give it more detail. So there we go. better now, though everything looks really green at the moment. So at this point, um, it's more about just trying to add more details to the scene, just to, after you look at the subject, your eyes will just explore around the scene, like what are the details on the scene. So usually you want your audience to like look at the entire scene but start at the statue. So once like they see the statue, they will start exploring around the scene and look at the details that are in it. So sometimes I like to add more details like broken pots, like whatever details, just to portray more of the story in the scene. So yeah. So now I'm adding the water source. So as you can see, it's very nice now. So like there's that reflection that's like drawing your eyes towards the statue itself. So it's really good. So now I'm just trying to make the water darker and just exploring whatever like colors that I can use to make it better. So in the end, I decided to just go with like dark water or something like dark green. So I also adjusted the water strength and the flow, because we don't want it like it's flowing. So like there's like a very minimal um water movement. So yeah. So there's really no right way and like the best way to do it. So that's why I use references, so I know what to do. So at this point, I decided that I want to add more details to the the statue, because we don't want it very clean in the middle. Like everything is like, it's forest and overgrown stuff around it, and it's like super clean. So it doesn't make sense, right? So I decided to change the material of the the base of the statue. So I wanted to add more molds to it. So yeah, there. So I was actually deciding if I want more vines or make it like just less vines. So I mean like less there's less vines around it. So I'm still very new with the add-on, so right now it's just trial and error. So I also decided to also include the statue on the vine system. So yeah. So what's nice about Arborea is like you can spread a vine, one single vine system around your mesh that are on the scene by just adding that mesh to the group. So like if you have a vine system, you just have to add it, so that add the mesh to it, so that the vine will crawl to that mesh. So now I'm adding this more lilies on near the camera, just to give it more depth, so that it's gonna look like you're closer to this like the lilies are closer to the camera. So now I'm trying to really sell the lighting. So I want the right corner to be like lit, because my light source is kind of small in terms of like the cone shape, so it doesn't really hit that side. So I just added and fake it out using a area light. Yeah. So It's kind of nice to look at when there's like light um, going through trees. So it adds a bit more detail to the scene and not just, just to highlight the things that you added around the statue. So it's not lost in darkness. So now I'm adding more details on the foreground. I mean the base of the base of the statue. So I added like flowers because I wanna sell the idea that this statue is kinda like um like magical in a sense that flowers are growing around it. So although I don't want it to be so colorful, so I just made it like um most of them like look yellow flowers or something like that. So now I added more color variations on the leaves of the trees because we don't want it to be really like all green. So you can easily do that in the add-on. So there's a random color for the leaves. So now it has that lighter green and like more of a yellowish color to it, just to make it more natural and realistic. So now the lilies in front are really well lighted, so we don't want that because it's like taking the focus out into away from the statue. So by the end I just deleted most of the light source. So now I'm creating I just changed the scatter color, like the volume scatter, so I made it a bit like bluish color because everything is like warm right now. So I want to have that separation, like a contrast between the background and the subject. So the subject is warm and the colors, I mean the atmosphere around it is cooler. So yeah, so kind of messed up that that this is the vine system, by the way. So it's very good because uh it's curve based, so you can just run the curves around a tree, around your subject, wrap it around a tree, something like that. So it's very nice. You can adjust the density of the tree, I mean the vine, and the leaves and the the rages. So if you want like thicker vines, you can do that. So what I'm trying to do now is like I'm trying to add more vines that crawls around these trees at the back. So every little detail is important. So I want to spend more time creating this, but I only have limited time during the weekend. So else I'll be doing this the entire weekend, which I don't want to happen because like I'm working the entire week. So now I'm just adding more flower variation, at least like not really like taking away the focus on the statue. So just to give it more variation. So now I'm adding little bits of detail. So this is what I'm talking about a while ago. So I want to add pots, like a broken pot to it. So just to show the viewer that this part of the forest was um something like uh this was above the water before. So like it was a lost civilization, something like that. And everything is underwater except for the statue. So you know, every little detail counts. So you can always do that, and you just need to highlight it a bit and not too much that it's taking the focus away from the middle ground. So this is what I'm mentioning a while ago. So I'm trying to add more light sources just to show that there is light going through the thick tree leaves that we have. So this is one way of like faking it. So I'm adding a spotlight that's kind of high but not so high. So usually you want to go to the visibility when you, I mean, like when you select a light. So usually if you put a light source inside volumetric, it's gonna light up the scene. Like you can see the light source, like it's coming from, like for example, that small light source that I added. So if you don't want it to show on the volumetric, you just tick on the checkbox like volumetrics under the visibility, so you don't see it like um in the scene, because we have a very big volumetric box. So any light that's inside it is gonna, like for example, like this one, you will see the cone of the light. So you want to remove that so that you only see the light, not the light source. That makes sense. So I'll try to detail more on the process if I get more time. So also I'm recording on an ultra wide monitor. So I have to frame, and some of the, the properties tools are not visible. So now what I'm trying to do is like I'm trying to add a noise texture, just to add more realism to the light. Like we want multiple god rays going through leaves. So that didn't work out well, so I just ended up using an actual tree just to block out the light and have that kind of rays, multiple rays, and not just like a big ray going through the statue. So at this point I was trying to um add like a tree that's blocking, I mean like a leaf or a bush that's blocking the light, just so that there is more detail to the light source or the god rays, and not just a single god ray that's hitting the the statue. I'm also adding more like bigger vines, in a sense, like the leaves are bigger than what I had before, just to add more details to the trees. It's like, yeah, because the vines that I added was pretty small. So, yeah. So before I end the video, I would like to thank everyone for sticking around at this point, like whoever got to this point. So just want to thank all my supporters and those people who share my work. I really appreciate you. And I'm just really new to this scene making, or whatever you call it. So thank you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.